Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're watching Faces Trader. My name's Nikki Yu, and this is the Awesome 10X Show. We'd like to open our class later to everyone, whether you're in the Philippines or abroad. We've got a 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Philippine time class, which is live streamed Facebook. The title would be Lives versus Livelihoods, the Reopening. I'd be happy to present to you a few snapshots of our slides later tonight. But before we begin, we also want you to know that you are invited to go to our Awesome 10X classes. Awesome10x.com is our product wherein you could get Zoom live classes every Monday to Friday, wherein Friday is always free for everyone who wants to join and sign up, register, or just go through our live stream channel. Now, our topic will be opening up, not just in the Philippines, but worldwide. This is really one of the most important things to do. What do people think about opening up? So this is one of the best cartoons that definitely says that opening up would lead to more deaths, especially for, in this case, body bags. You'll see how people's interpretation to opening up is the Grim Reaper, coronavirus in your bars, how do we reopen safely, what's the status of the COVID deaths, who wants to reopen, how are the reopening statuses are. We'll give you recaps of our winners. We'll discuss how opening up and how this lockdown has happened, not just in the Philippines, but the world. Similarly, we'll discuss a few documentaries, such as in India, wherein, people are living in the slums of Mumbai and Delhi. How do they wash their hands, change their habits if they don't have money, they don't have sanitation, they don't have a lot to fend for themselves? We also discuss, of course, pictures of malls, what's safe, what are these Moderna vaccines, and of course, Philippines reopening, all of these salons, hairdressers, Disney wants to open up. You've got schools and restaurants opening up. You've got people happily waiting in line, safely social distancing for McDonald's reopening, drive-thrus, full list of the UK restaurants, casinos are opening up, Universal Studios are opening up, McDonald's. And yet, of course, there are people who will always resent this reopening because it's not safe, they don't want to work. Let's discuss all of the initial phases. That would be our topic later tonight. But before we do that, let's discuss today the best news for the Philippine stock market. So in the Philippine stock market, for those who are listening, you should be aware that SM Investments, the largest $9 billion from January to March versus 10.7 billion, as a huge percentage of this was contributed by the bank, BDO, 46%, while the property and retail still added 44%. Their very strong balance sheet capability and partnerships will enable them to be flexible, adapt to the changes in customer needs, effectively also enhancing digital and delivery services across all their core businesses. Now, during the crisis, SM implemented a lot of sanitation protocols in all their SM essential businesses. I think this is an article that I want you to watch. Take a look at this article by Rappler entitled Safety Measures Rules as Malls Reopen on May 16. So this entire week, from May 16 till May 31, the government has already done an incremental modified modified ECQ. They call it the MCQ. Some states have been open for general community quarantine. So you'll see that there's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And these are some of the implementations of some malls. You've got social distancing stickers, you've got disinfection, you've got dry mats, you've got mats soaked in disinfectant. All of the properties of Mega World are also being all of the malls are open now with safety and preventive measures, such as all the mall's guest employees are required to wear face masks at all times. Thermal scanning and foot bath are mandatory for all guests at all entrances, social distancing, hand sanitizers. Of course, Cashless transactions are encouraged. In the Philippines, we have GCash, we have Paymaya, and we have online banking for all the major banks, whether it be BDO, Metro Bank, BPI, Union Bank, uh, even RCBC, all of your banks does cashless transactions for your purchases. You've got, of course, elevator, which is sanitized every 30 minutes. There's a sanitation squad. You've got UV lights. Free Wi-Fi is temporarily still unavailable. And air conditioning is now set at 26 degrees Celsius. You could go to SM Super Malls, follow them, Safe Malling at SM, that's their hashtag. And they want to really prevent the spread of COVID. So they're ensuring with their highest standards that they will keep showing you that they have the best standard health and safety protocols as recommended by the Interagency Task Force of the Philippines. So I think this is one of the best, most important news for the week. What other news should you know? Okay, this is a sad news for the other market, Hong Kong. We've got news that there is already China imposing controversial security laws on Hong Kong, leading to a 4% drop in Hong Kong. I've reached my article limit, but as you could see here in The Guardian, some of the opinion and commentary right now is they're saying that this legislation would effectively end the one country, two system status, and Hong Kong is essentially now China. People, of course, of Hong Kong feel that this is a threat to their democracy. China is planning to push through sweeping national security laws for Hong Kong and its annual meeting parliament. This is a move that critics say will effectively end the territory's autonomy. Beijing has made it clear that it wants new security legislation passed since the huge pro-democracy protests last year plunged Hong Kong into its deepest turmoil since it returned to the Chinese rule in 1997. So this national security is really underpinning the stability of the country. So it's really a bad day, one of the baddest, saddest days in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is the largest decline for the market in Asia, falling about 4%. We'll go to the charts later, just giving you some news for this day. You could see that most of the news in the Philippines, you've got the latest stories. Still, I guess this is the news that what most people are asking about. You've got Mary Mart IPO by Injapsia, the owner of Double Dragon, and of course the owner of your Manginasal, which was sold to Jollibee. Mary Mart has priced its IPO at the maximum price of 1 peso per share, drawing out investors seeking a new coronavirus resilient play, which is Mary Mart, a supermarket. They intend to raise 1.6 billion from the public market, running from May 27 to June 5. Their market cap would be 7.5 billion upon listing. So just to make you understand, 7.5 billion peso market cap is larger than Mrs. G with 53 stores operating. It is the fourth. This is the fourth retail supermarket play in the Philippines. Your first would be Pure Gold. Your second would be Robinson's Retail. Your third would be Mrs. G. And this would be the fourth, which is Mary Mart. Mary Mart, of course, has plans to operate. Currently, they have 7 branches, and they plan to operate and get ready under the enhanced community quarantine with goals of building 100 stores by 2021. They want to build through franchising for a nationwide expansion. You should know too that SM, which is SM Supermarket, is listed under SM Investments. SM income is down, of course, because your malls are closed. But now that the mall has reopened starting May 16, the company is very much hoping for a recovery of their mall business. SM says that their mall business accounts for 47% of the consolidated revenues, which has been impacted since the implementation of the ECQ, except for stores that are offering essential products and services. Okay, another news that I think that I should share is the plan for the reopening of our tourism industry. The Senate wants to reopen certain industries at present. All parts of the Philippines wants to revive and reopen our tourist sites. You could recall that in one of our shows, we said that Aklan, Boracay has lost roughly 69 billion pesos in tourism receipts, as that was their tourist receipts last year for the entire 2019. With this lockdown, they've already lost, even in just that span of 8 weeks, around 11 billion in their estimate. And so I think one of the country heads is now saying that they should just include regular sanitation so that more people, more tourism workers can actually start to implement and start their work. Now, I would say that this industry reopening plans for tourism is a good thing. We actually have been seeing, actually, one of our topics for this day or this later class is how does a country reopen, safeguarding lives, but also trying to make livelihoods work. So that's really an important topic. I can't finish that in just slides. So I think it's best to see it all throughout the world. Another news that we want to share is how Jollibee wants to really implement their safety procedures. Let me find the news article. I have it somewhere here. Let me search for it. Of course, you've got a lot of criticism. We'll talk about a lot of news. There's a lot to really digest this week. Okay, so Jollibee, if you can recall, they've already lowered their capex from 16 billion pesos. And they said that they're going to spend 7 billion pesos this year so that they could restructure their global operations. As you well know, restaurants are a hard-hit industry. There's about $240 billion of losses worldwide in US estimate for the restaurants in USA alone. Now, Jollibee, of course, has about 10,000 stores, not just in the Philippines, but worldwide. We actually said that Jollibee is currently about 70% domestic Philippines, while 27% is foreigners. Now, if you want to learn more about foreign, the international operation of Jollibee and their local operations, go to our video entitled Awesome 10X JFC Review. That said, okay, so let's look at what Jollibee wants to do with that 7 billion pesos. Given this COVID pandemic, they have already changed their global business structure, including the streamlining of non-performing loan stores and beefing up their delivery, takeout, and drive-through services. So as you saw, mostly worldwide, we've seen Starbucks, McDonald's, they've reopened. And so, Jollibee has also been reopening ever since, even the Philippines, because they can beef up their delivery, their takeout. And this expense is for this transformation. They believe that they have to set this up, not just in the second quarter of 2020, but also because it's an extremely challenging year, not just for Jollibee, for the entire other businesses. Now, they believe that this transformation for a full takeout delivery service is going to make them emerge in 2021 as an even stronger business and organization. Their vision remains the same, to be one of the top 5 restaurants. So JFC's financial performance, of course, has been temporarily gone down because of the COVID-19, temporary closure of a high number of stores. But they're optimistic that in the next few months, even as lockdowns have begun to be lifted, they forecast that the sales will still be low, but they want their profit for 2020 to actually at least just be enough for their operating efficiency, profitability of their organization. So the company Jollibee has a lot of cash in their balance sheet. They even used organic cash flows for that 7 billion spending capex. So the company is still in good shape, even with the COVID pandemic. Let's go to the charts before we end. Okay, so the Philippines today is down 1%. I'd say that the entire week has been relatively mute for the Philippines. You've got your volume traded very, very slow. People reopening. Not everyone is happy that we can work. So I think we'll have to adjust in the next few weeks how the world will really at the end of the day, it's really a question of lives versus livelihoods. And in the Philippines, the index has been really adamant in saying that the
Just waiting for Nikki to log back in. So just wait for a while.
Hello. Hi. I didn't know that I wasn't being recorded.
It's okay.
Shucks. Where
Just
should I begin? Where did you guys end up?
siguro mga 10
Saang
minutes.
slide, saang slide ako dapat mag-restart?
Just show it.
Ano yung last ko na diniscuss? I didn't know na I was cut off.
Still Jollibee.
Sa Jollibee?
Mm.
Okay, sige. I'll discuss the Jollibee. Sige. So, na-discuss ko yung SM. Okay, sige. So, let me start with the Jollibee. Okay, wait. Sorry, guys. Alright, teka. I didn't know I got cut off. Sorry. So, in line with the restructuring, you should know that Jollibee already lessened their capex. Of course, in the recent earnings quarter, wherein they even paid a 62-cent cash dividend, Jollibee said that from 16 billion capex, they will lower it down to 7 billion capex. That's a good thing because Jollibee, of course, knows that there will be some stores that will underperform. Lowering down your capex to 7 billion is a good thing. And also, they want to streamline their non-performing stores, aka close down those non-performing stores. They want to beef up delivery, takeout, drive-through services. That's also a good thing. Now, the expense will not quickly revert to pre-COVID pandemic period. It will be set up in the second quarter of 2020, which will be incurred mostly within the year. So they're already warning people that all of these capex will, of course, result to a lot of losses, but Jollibee chair Tony Tan Kakyong said that 2020 is an extremely challenging year for Jollibee as most other businesses, but they believe that they could aim to re-emerge in 2021 as an even stronger business and organization. Their vision remains the same. Wait, guys, nakwento ko na ba yung malls? Sorry, kasi hindi ko masyado memorize yung mga nakwento ko eh. Nakwento ko na yung mall. Nakwento ko na yung Jollibee. Nakwento ko na yung Merry Mart.
Yes.
Tapos na yun. Okay, sige. So, yeah, I think, the biggest topics would be, nakwento ko na ba yung Hong Kong? The controversial Hong Kong law? Hindi pa.
Yes. Pero you can...
Okay, sige. Let me just recap all the most important news, no? So, news-wise, you've got the major headlines talking about reopening, whether it's not just in the Philippines, but worldwide. So I think you could see from all the news that in the USA, they're more positive in this reopening, although there will still be backlash. Backlash because it's not yet safe to go outside, even if there's a lot of safety precaution, and even with the Moderna vaccine. So in general, I would say that for the USA, the market received the reopening news positively. However, in the Philippines, we could see that we're still grappling about these reopening procedures. And I could say that from a chart perspective, our market in the Philippines has generally just gone down this entire week from Monday to Friday. Whereas in the US, your tourism industry is trying to pick up. You've got some airlines picking up. In the Philippines, although there was one day that macro Asia went up, we didn't see a really strong sustainable move. Whether that would be retested next week to about 350 to 380 and then get back up again at 420, we have to see that. But I can see that if Philippines is trying to follow the USA has been trying to reopen at least for the bad sectors, even the retail segments, even the restaurants, like you've seen McDonald's and Starbucks, really long lines, but social distancing and very safe. So we'll see if the Philippines can try to crawl upwards, even if your top names in the Philippines are trying to see what's the new normal for the mall business, how's the safety precaution, and all of that. So yeah, I will end my presentation just inviting all of you to still, number one, go to our class later on. Every Friday, we've got these classes offered. Our awesome 10X Mastermind is an offering that I do for free. Every Friday, it's free. We've got a 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. class. Now, if you enjoy all the classes or videos, also make sure to go and click that bell for notification where we upload daily videos in our awesome 10X YouTube channel. That said, I want to see all of you guys later and next week. See you again. Bye.